The Queen kind of passed away the week. Today we're looking at top 10 things that will now change. Queen Elizabeth II is dead. Now this applies to me quite drastically because, I don't know if you knew this, but I'm English.
Buckingham Palace has announced the death of Her Majesty Queen Elizabeth II.
It was quite mad to be honest, but
and today we're counting down our picks for the top 10 things that will change now that Queen Elizabeth II has died.
But what will a King Charles III era look like as he becomes the head of 14
Big
other
Charles,
Commonwealth
mate.
countries?
Charles
For
Windsor.
this list,
God
we're
damn.
looking at traditions in the UK and the Commonwealth that will be different now that Queen Elizabeth II has passed on. What's your favorite Queen Elizabeth II memory? Let us know below. Number 10. Currency. Alongside some of the famous faces in UK history, like Jane Austen and Winston Churchill, Elizabeth is featured in UK currency.
She
and
is.
Often within the Commonwealth too.
Yep.
Across coins and banknotes. Her
Is that all
profile
gonna-
usually
nah, that
takes
can't
pride
all
of place
change.
on the front. But now that she's no longer the reigning monarch, her image will be phased out for the next ruler.
While existing currency will not be taken out of circulation,
Yeah,
a
right,
new
okay.
legal tender will be issued.
This change will likely begin to take place once minters have used up their stock and the formal coronation of Charles takes place. Another
That's
famous
next year,
item
I
of the
think.
former queen's
Or I could be
profile
wrong.
is stamps. Besides special seals that feature historical references, the traditional first and second class stamps will soon remove Elizabeth's image for the new monarch's profile.
The Queen.
Number 9. Family titles.
Family titles.
With Elizabeth's passing, there has to be a shuffling of royal titles. Of course, the most famous change is that Charles III, Prince of Wales, becomes king. His wife Camilla goes from Duchess of Cornwall to Queen Consort, a title that hasn't been used since the Queen's mother.
The moment the
fair
Queen's
enough.
heart
I didn't
stopped
actually know that.
beating, Charles became King Charles, Camilla became Queen Consort.
William, who was the Duke of Cambridge, is now the Duke of Cornwall and Cambridge and the Prince of Wales. Kate Middleton follows her husband by becoming the Duchess of Cornwall and Cambridge and the Princess of Wales.
Prince William, the Duke of
Princess
Cambridge,
of Wales is
will
quite a
become
nice
the
title. I
Prince of
love
Wales,
Wales.
and
This is a
Catherine, in
beautiful
turn,
country,
the
man.
Princess of Wales.
Children, George, Charlotte, and Louis, are princes and princesses of Wales too. Due to the traditional line of succession, Harry and Meghan's children, Archie and Lilibet, also become prince and princess.
Bro, they have no idea what's going on.
My love for Harry and Meghan as they continue to build their lives overseas.
Number 8. Passports. After Brexit, the UK
Passports.
switched the burgundy passports to blue to mark its departure from the European Union. Now they'll have to be changed again.
British passports given in the name of the Queen will
So
also
we
have
only
to be
just got them
updated.
changed and I've got to change them again,
Side
bro.
passport
Like,
states,
people must be
quote,
vexed
"In the
about
name
that.
of Her Majesty,
That
all
doesn't
those whom
doesn't
it may
cost it if
concern
you've already
to
got an
allow the
existing one.
bearer to pass freely
wouldn't have thought it
without
would.
let or
I don't know.
hindrance. The pronoun will require updating to His Majesty to reference the new monarch. However, this will likely only happen when applying for a new passport. Similarly, the iconic red post boxes may change too. They
No.
have E2R written on them. This stands for Elizabeth II Regina, with Regina meaning Queen in Latin. New post boxes will likely have Charles's cipher, while current boxes will be left as they are.
The insignia Queen Elizabeth II Regina as the Queen will change.
Number 7. Parliament. For a member of
Mate,
Parliament
Parliament
to get
is
a
a
salary or
joke,
be allowed
honestly.
to take part in government.
Have you seen like some of them videos of Parliament? I can't think of a quote off the top of my head, but I've seen videos on like TikTok and on YouTube. They're not like dubbed over, they're like real videos of like the Prime Minister was a prize buffoon. Sit down. It's just fucking hilarious, man.
To achieve this, my government will level up opportunities across all parts of the United Kingdom.
Previously, the speech
No, I
they
barely
had to
ever
recite
hear her
contained
talk
references to
either.
Elizabeth. As such, that'll be switched to reflect the change in sovereignty when a new pledge is said. Some senior members of Parliament, like newly
What the fuck's
appointed
wearing
Prime
on his
Minister
head, bro?
Liz Truss,
Honestly.
have already sworn their loyalty to Charles in a small ceremony.
That I will be faithful and bear true allegiance to His
Liz
Majesty
Truss,
King
new
Charles.
Prime
Both
Minister.
the workings of the House of Commons and the House of Lords will also be suspended until the state funeral for Elizabeth has taken place.
She set an example of selfless duty, which, with God's help and your counsels, I am resolved faithfully to follow.
Number 6, the Christmas message.
The Christmas message.
For decades, there has been one tradition that many families share on Christmas Day in the UK, the royal Christmas message. Queen Elizabeth's in 1957 was the first ever to be televised.
Happy Christmas.
At around 3
Happy
p.m.,
Christmas.
people gathered around the TV to witness a pre-recorded speech that referenced events and news in the previous year. For example, in her last Christmas message in 2021, she spoke about the loss of her husband, Prince Philip.
Christmas can be hard for those who have lost loved ones. This year especially, I understand why.
The speech also typically mentions upcoming events. In Elizabeth's final Christmas speech, she spoke about the Commonwealth Games and her Platinum Jubilee for 2022. For everyone in the UK, it'll be strange to have Charles standing where she stood as he provides the traditional speech.
I wish you all a very happy Christmas.
Number 5,
Yeah, you know,
new royal warrants.
Time moves on. We move on.
By the most senior members of the royal family, the provider can get a royal warrant to showcase the impressive connection.
600 holders of the royal warrant, whose gift will now pass from Her Majesty the Queen to King Charles III.
This lasts for 5 years. And
Way, Heinz
of the
tomato
royal arms and
ketchup.
logos. Companies with these exclusive
do
marks
love
of
me some
recognition
Heinz
include
tomato.
Johnny Walker, Nestle, Twinings, and the health shop Boots. With the Queen's death, brands that she gave royal warrants to can continue to carry the royal arms for up to 2 years, but they'll all need to reapply for their warrants. Number 4, flags.
Flags.
The reigning monarch has their own flag, called the Royal Standard of the United Kingdom, flown when they're in residence of a building, car, ship, or plane. The current flag is
Isn't it
divided
just like
into
a
4 quarters,
pinpoint for assassination?
One with a lion
Like,
that represents Scotland,
Come
one
on.
with a harp for Ireland, and 2 with 3 lions each for England. A variant is used in
What about
Scotland
Wales,
with
eh?
2 quarters for Scotland instead of 2 for England. It's possible that Charles will have the royal standard changed. There's speculation, for example, that he might incorporate Wales. Various Commonwealth realms
incorporate
also have
Wales,
flags to
bro,
represent
incorporate
the
Wales.
Queen that featured her insignia. Those will change, presumably to show Charles's insignia instead. Number 3, reunited. After 74 years of marriage, Elizabeth's husband, Prince Philip, passed away in April of 2021 at the age of 99. After his
fucking old
funeral,
days, man.
his remains were stored within the royal vault in the St. George's Chapel within Windsor Castle. Elizabeth's coffin will join Philip's in the vault, but this is a temporary measure. Once a sarcophagus is built to house the couple, their remains will be moved to the King George VI Memorial Chapel in Windsor. Sometimes the remains of former royalty can spend decades in the vault. Elizabeth's father, King George VI, was there for 17 years. Philip's
Blimey.
mother, Princess Alice of Battenberg, spent 19 years there.
She
Damn.
and Prince Philip will be buried alongside each other. They made a pact. If I go first, I'll wait for you.
You know what? Everything, all controversies and everything aside about the royal family, Elizabeth lived a long life, man. Well, she was 96, wasn't she? So what's that? 1926 she was born? Yeah, nice. Fuck me, she is old, bro. She's ancient, decrepit. But life goes on, man. You know what I mean? Like, fair play. She lived a long life and hopefully a healthy one as well. You know, I don't want to wish bad health on anyone. So, yeah.
Number 2, the national anthem. For national holidays,
Mm.
sporting occasions, and other such events, England's national anthem is typically sung. The previous version featured lyrical references to Elizabeth. After all, the song was called God Save the Queen for decades. So the lyrics are set to be amended with male pronouns to reflect the new monarch. The anthem's name will also revert to God Save the King, which was last used in 1952 during the reign of King George VI. It will likely take some time for the English and the rest of the world to get used to hearing King instead of Queen after so long from it being one particular.
Yeah, man. That sounds so strange. I wonder how he feels about all that.
Before we number 1, the new monarch.
Well, obviously, that's
Pride
been the
of
biggest
United
change.
Kingdom of Great Britain and Northern Ireland is solely and rightfully come to the Prince Charles.
The biggest change after Elizabeth's passing is, of course, seeing a new monarch on the throne. After all, she broke the record as the UK's longest-serving monarch by a wide margin. Plus, Elizabeth was only beaten by France's King Louis XIV for the longest overall reign. After a period of mourning and the state funeral for the former sovereign, a coronation for King Charles III will go ahead.
I am deeply aware of this great inheritance and of the duties and heavy responsibilities of sovereignty.
While he's already the monarch, the coronation is traditional to fully support this fact. It could likely take up to a year for the crowning of the new king to happen. When it does
Blimey.
occur, tradition dictates it'll happen at Westminster Abbey and be officiated by the Archbishop of Canterbury.
I shall endeavour to serve you with loyalty, respect, and love, as I have throughout my life.
Well, well, you know what, we'll have to see about that. Well, there we go. I don't want to see a boring video, but, you know, it's an informative video for those of Britain, and I guess it was worthy of a reaction. So there you go, top 10 things that will happen now. Queen Elizabeth, double I, is dead. What are your thoughts on this video? Leave your thoughts in the comment section down below. And as always, leave a like, subscribe, and start a movement if you haven't already. God save our gracious king. There we go, moving forth with the new monarchy. I have been BDFO18. Thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care now.